Hey guys, it's Bethany, your crafty BFF, and today I'm on with a requested tutorial. This little thing might look familiar to you, or maybe not if you're new. Um Back in the winter time, I created this what I called DIY loaded bag, and we did a winter themed swap with this as the holder for all of the goodies. Um, but this time I've made it a mini version. So this is the mini DIY loaded bag, and I made it for my upcoming mini themed swap. We're going to make mini embellishments of all kinds, and it's going to be a fun time, I think. So this one here measures about 4 7/8 of an inch wide and is 6.5 inches tall. The original is about an inch wider and 2 inches taller, I believe. I will link the original tutorial to the regular sized DIY loaded bag in the description box down below in case you want to check that one out. But today we're going to make this mini version, and it's pretty simple. So let's go ahead and get started. Um, as you can see, it has a pocket here in the front that opens up. It has a gusseted short pocket right behind this pocket, and then it has this tall pocket here in the back. Okay, so what you need is a piece of cardstock that measures 10 inches by 10 inches. The original one, we just did a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, and you can do this with either a solid color cardstock or you can do it with a pattern paper. It's up to you. If you do it with the solid color cardstock, I suggest using a pretty patterned paper and matting it like I did this one. I will give you the measurements for the mats and all that good stuff when we get to it. So starting out, you need your 10 inches by 10 inches piece of cardstock, and all we're going to do is fold over the sides like this so that they meet in the middle at about, and you only want it to overlap about 1/8 of an inch. That's all you need, is 1/8 of an inch all the way down. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to cover that with a mat anyways. I'm going to get my bone folder here, maybe. Yep, there it is. And I'm just going to go ahead and crease down the edges. Like I said, I'm only letting this overlap about 1/8 of an inch, which is about like that, if you can see, about 1/8 of an inch. And I know it seems crazy that that's all you need, but that is really all you need, is that 1/8 of an inch overlap. I'm sure my glue is dried out, so let me get a pin and unclog it. I haven't used it in a while. So you're gonna overlap those about 1/8 of an inch, and we're gonna put glue right up along that edge. To glue it together. Make sure you don't get glue down there on the back of the cardstock, because then it will stick, and that's no good. You want that to be an open pocket. So I'm just going to line this up again. Use my bone folder to spread that glue where it needs to go. And that's it. That's the first step done. You should have a little tube like this when you're done. Now you need your scoreboard. Let me check my measurement here real quick. 3.5. Okay. So you're going to line your little tube, your 10-inch tube down here on your scoreboard at the 10-inch mark. And you're going to take your bone folder, or not your bone folder, your scoring tool, and you're going to score at 3.5 inches. I'm giving a good score because I am scoring through 2 layers of cardstock here. And I'm going to fold this up, lining up the edges. Please excuse the sniffling. My autoimmune disorder is kicking my butt today. My nose is relentlessly runny, and no matter how much I blow it or whatever, I still have the sniffles. There's nothing I can do about it, so please forgive me. Now, you can either have this be the front and your line be here on the tall pocket, or you can bend it this other way so that the line is on the back, and then the line's going to be here on the front pocket. Either way, like I said, if you're using a solid color cardstock, you'll want to mat it with a pretty patterned paper anyways. So that's up to you. Even when I've made this out of a pattern paper, what I did was make a mat for this short pocket so that line didn't show up, because that line does drive me crazy. So you can do a mat here on the front pocket, and the mat would be 4 3/4 of an inches wide and 3 3/8 inches tall. That's what this is. Actually, it's a little longer than that. I'm going to trim this up real quick with my paper trimmer. Apparently, I measured wrong. That happens. There we go. And now it will fit on there perfectly. So your mat, like I said, your mat for this short pocket is going to be 4 3/4 inches wide by 3 3/8 inches tall. Your mat for this back part is going to be, again, 4 3/4 inches wide, and it's going to be 6 3/8 inches tall. Same goes for your back mat, 4 3/4 inches by 6 3/8 inches. I have already prepared my mats. I cut them and I sewed around them with some gold thread for added interest and fun. I'm going to go ahead and put my mats on before we do the next step, and it's important to do it in this order. So let's go ahead and put our mats on. Adding my glue here. Lining this up so there's about a 1/8 inch reveal all the way around. See, and then that mat covers up that line and you can't see it, and no big deal. Now we're going to do this mat. I'm just going to dry fit it here real quick and make sure it's going to fit, and it does. So let's add it. I'm just adding glue all around the edges and then in the middle as well. Now line it up. Use my bone folder to press it down and really spread that glue around underneath the pattern paper. Get a good stick. And then I'm going to flip it over and do the back. I'm going to do a dry fit again just to make sure I got my measurements right. And that'll work. Adding my glue around the edges and in the middle. And I'm going to lay this down. Again, use my bone folder to press it down and spread the glue around underneath the pattern paper. There we go. And that's what she should look like so far. Excuse me. Now we are going to add our little gussets here to the inside of this short pocket. What you need, and you should be able to get this from your scraps from cutting a 12 by 12 down to a 10 by 10. You need 2 pieces of cardstock that measure 2 inches by 3 3/8 inches. So again, that's 2 pieces of 2 inches by 3 3/8 inches. Oops. And we're going to score. I'm going to line it up here on my scoreboard at the 2-inch mark. And I'm going to score at a 1/2 inch. Excuse me. 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 1.5 inches. Just like that. So every 1/2 inch, you're going to score 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5 inches. And you're going to do that to the other piece as well. 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 1/2 inch. Now we're going to accordion fold these. So if I have my paper like this in my hand, I'm going to set it down and fold it forward. Then I'm going to fold it backwards. And then I'm going to fold it forwards again. So it should look like a W when you pick it up. See, it looks like a W. Do that to your other piece. Again, holding it like this. We're folding forward, creasing, folding backwards, creasing, and folding forwards once again, and a final crease. Excuse me. And there is our W again. Now to attach these little gussets to our short pocket, what we're going to do is line them up to the very edge here like this. I want you to see how I'm holding it like this, and I'm putting it down like this so that the first the first edge is facing inside the pocket. Does that make sense? So your first edge is going to be glued down so it's facing inside the pocket. I'm going to add my glue right here to this edge. I'm leaving about 1/8 of an inch from this score line that goes across, because we don't want that bumping up against that score line. It'll cause it to not close properly. So leave just a little space there. I'm going to hold this up close so you can see that there's just a tiny bit of space between the bottom of my little gusset, my little W piece here, and the score line going across. So it should look like this. And now we're going to take the other piece, and again, making sure that this first edge is pointing in towards the pocket, we're going to glue it right here on the other side. It's important because if you glue it the other way, if you glue it the opposite way, it's not going to open. The gussets aren't going to open as well as they do doing it like this. I've made that mistake before, so yeah. Again, I'm leaving just a little bit of space between the end of my gusset and the score line here for my short pocket. And I'm just gonna use my bone folder to spread that glue around underneath. So it should look like this. I hope that visual helps. So now what we're going to do is press these down, and we're going to add our glue to both edges here on the left and on the right. And you see we added our mat before we added these gusseted these little gussets, so that the mat comes all the way to the edge. If you tried to add the mat after you put these gussets on, it's not going to look right. So once you have your glue there, you're just going to fold up your short pocket and press down. Using my bone folder again to press down firmly and spread that glue around under the cardstock. Once it has a chance to dry, see, and you don't want it to get on the other gussets either, because then it won't open correctly, like I started to do here. But there we have it. You have your thinner pocket right here, but you can see it does still open up quite a bit, so it can hold quite a few things. And then you have your gusseted short pocket here. Of course, it's not dried all the way. So let me add some more glue right here so that stays. And that's what it should look like. And then you have your tall pocket up here at the top. Tall, deep pocket. Okay, so that is it. That is how you create the mini DIY loaded bag. It gives you 3 pockets to fill up with mini goodies. And you can decorate the front pocket like I did on this one. You can see I'm probably gonna decorate them both a little differently, but I did use the same pink solid color cardstock as the base, and then I'm used the same pattern paper from the Rainbow Avenue collection by Celeste Gonzalez. I love this butterfly pattern paper. Super cute. So there we have it, guys. There is the requested tutorial for the mini DIY loaded bag. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below and I will get back to you. Otherwise, you can reach out to me on Instagram. Over there, I have the same handle at your_crafty_BFF. And I'll be happy to walk you through any additional help you need over there on Instagram. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.